This is Brian. Brian is a new student at school. Say hi, Brian. Unfortunately, Brian does not know anything about anything, so today we will teach him something called poetry. Repeat that, Brian.
Poetry.
Good. More specifically, though, we will be learning about a certain poet today. That poet lived around 400 years ago, in the time of Shakespeare, and went by the name of Ben Jonson. First, we are going to explore good old Ben's background here. When Jonson was a child, he was adopted into a bricklayer's family and was far too poor to study at any university. Instead, he joined the army. At one point in his military career, he met face to face with an enemy champion in melee combat. To everyone's surprise, Ben won. When he returned to England, he became an actor and was jailed for having a slanderous part in the play. Again, he found himself in a duel after being released, but this time with a fellow actor. Needless to say, Ben won. Even though he had quite an interesting lifestyle, he was, in fact, a major dramatist in his day and competed with the well-known Shakespeare and another competitor, John Donne. Some even say that Shakespeare had acted in Ben Jonson's very first play. Throughout his life, Jonson wrote many poems in various different writing styles. Today we are going to learn about Jonson's poem, Song to Celia.
Drink to me only with thine eye, and I'll pledge with mine. For leave a kiss but in the cup, and I'll not look for wine. The thirst that from the soul doth rise, don't ask a drink divine. But my eye of Jove's nectar stuff I would not change for thine. I sent thee late a rosy weed, not so much honor in thee, as giving it a hope that there it could not wither be. But thou thereon didn't only bleed, and sent it back to me, as when it grows and smells, I swear, not of itself, but thee.
Ah, what a wonderful piece of work.
You sounded thirsty to me.
Let's move on. Now, we are going to learn about that raft.
A raft?
No, you silly goose. A raft. An R-A-F-T. Here, let's introduce you to a peer of yours at school, Brian. His name is Ron. Ron is a model student, and always
completes
his homework, and almost
never
sleeps in class. He is going to guide you through the raft.
RAF stands for Role of Speaker, Audience, Format, and Theme. The role of Ben Jonson in this poem is simple. He is longing for a woman to return the kind of affection that he feels for her. The audience, of course, will be Celia, his love, the woman to whom he sent this letter. The format, if we look closely at the structure of the poem, you will find that the two paragraphs are in a form of 8 sentences each, so this would be an octet.
Octet.
Yes, an octet. Oct means 8. And now for the last thing in our rap. Theme. Theme is a very common one, and that is of unrequited love, or love that is not returned.
Very good. So, Brian, what have you learned? Great! The last thing we have to examine today, before your cranium overflows with the sweet nectar of savory intelligence, are the forms of writing that Ben Jonson used in Song to Celia. Do you know any forms, Brian?
Rhyme?
Yes, Brian. Jonson used a rhyme scheme in the poem to develop a sense of rhythm. His scheme goes
A, B, C, E, A, B, E, B, D, E, F, E, D, E, F, E. Now what would be another device do you think he used, Brian?
A pencil?
Ha 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 ha. No, you cretin. Another device he used was imagery.
Like imaginary friends?
No, you pumpkin eater. Imagery used in poems takes words or phrases and cause them to appeal to certain senses. For example, just when it grows and smells, I swear not of itself, but thee. These last two lines almost bring the smell out of the paper.
I don't smell anything.
Sniff harder, Brian. Maybe it will do your brain some good.
Another device that Jonson used was something called an illusion.
Oh, I get it. He was a magician and a poet.
An illusion is when there is a reference to a person, place, thing, or a subject in mythology. In Song to Celia, Ben mentions Jove, who is Jupiter. Jupiter in Greek mythology was the ruler of all of the gods. And so, when Ben talks about Jove's self, you can suppose that it was.
So, have you learned anything from our lesson today? I can tell you that Brian sure did.
Where am I?
For an upcoming test, I've prepared for you 3 questions that you all might want to know. Please study the following and know their answers. Time's up. Great! You are now ready for the quiz. We will see you next time, Brian, and we have to learn about quantum mechanics in ancient Egyptian. Take care.